I promise I'm good at this.
Ground control. Ground control.
Ground control. Sorry, I was focused. I just need to
3, 2, 1. Ground control.
Ground control. Wait.
Ground control.
Ground control.
Ground control.
It's like
Ground
that
control.
opening episode.
Ground
Ground control.
control. Ground control.
Ground control.
Gun control.
Gun
Gun control.
Well, yes, but ground control.
This month, some of my favorite people came to stay with me for an amazing weekend in Oregon. Liz and Keezus joined up with Kenny and I to visit some super well-known places in Portland before heading to Bend to try out free roam VR with Zero Latency Bend. And big thank you to Zero Latency Bend for collabing with me. It was honestly a super amazing experience, and I highly recommend everyone trying out their VR experiences if you have the chance to. Go out of your way. It will be worth it, I promise. Liz and Keezus got in late Thursday night and joined me for our stream on Friday.
I don't know if Liz feels like singing.
Like singing?
Yeah.
Why would you?
I want it that way.
3, 2.
Okay, apparently she does. Ain't nothing but a heartbreak. Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a mistake.
Tell me why.
I never wanna hear you say
I want it that way. They would serenade you to sleep. Absolutely.
Obviously, that was pretty good. For free, that was pretty good.
For free? Oh damn, we both jumped at the same time.
Later that day, we met up with Kenny to hit up Ground Control, which is this huge barcade in Portland with tons of arcade games and pinball machines. There had to be a couple hundred machines there, ranging from classics to newer games. They even had DDR. My favorite would probably have to be Armed and Gelatinous, a game where you play as a little amoeba trying to get bigger by consuming guns. My second fave would have to be the Godzilla pinball machine. I am a big sucker for pinball. It's just a super tactile way to play, and this one vibrated like Godzilla was stomping around, which is a very nice touch. I ended up getting the second highest score on my first try, which is crazy. I need to go back sometime to see if my initials are still there. I also learned I'm very competitive. I hadn't played DDR since like 2008 on one of the soft mats, but they had the full-blown Japanese DDR machines, so Keezus and I had to do a dance battle. Choosing a song was difficult because neither of us speak Japanese, but we ended up finding one called Cutie Chaser by Club Spice, which is perfectly fitting for the spicy squad weekend. It ended up not really mattering because we couldn't hear the music over the bar music anyway, but it was a good song to dance to since it wasn't overly challenging. Both of us were still plenty winded by the end. They were playing some absolute bangers by Megan Thee Stallion for a while before switching to some random ambient Halloweeny music. I don't know who they gave the aux to, but their privileges need to be revoked. It was an awesome time. I plan on going back soon. On Saturday, we had a full day in the city. We went to the Portland Saturday Market, Voodoo Doughnuts, Powell's Books, and Mock's Boarding House. Apparently, I'm super unaware of the local going-ons, but we found out we were here during the Portland Rose Festival, so there was all of the naval ships and a full carnival setup. We had a ton of stuff planned already, so unfortunately we weren't able to ride any rides, but hopefully next year. Perusing the Portland Saturday Market was a great way to start the day. I've been to some smaller farmers markets, but this was several blocks of small business vendors. It took us a few hours to get through everything. We made sure we didn't miss out on checking any of the booths. The most memorable booth to me would have to be the chainmail booth. I thought it was so cool that they were creating on the scene and making their pieces, which are super interesting. Once we checked out all of the booths, we went to one of the most well-known Portland businesses, Voodoo Doughnuts. They're well known for their wide array of unique and edgy donuts, and I believe they were the first to start putting cereal on their donuts. Correct me if I'm wrong. but as a local, I'd like to believe. Liz wanted to take Keys is here for a special donut in particular. We had to wait about 40 minutes, which is not unusual. There's always a winding line outside of Voodoo, even at night. It might seem like a long wait for a donut, but it was honestly worth it because of the beautiful content we got out of it. More on that later. We took the donut back to the car to save it for later and made our way to Powell's, the largest independent bookstore in the world. It's 5 floors of new and used books about whatever you could think of. My favorite is the Pearl Room on the top floor, home to all the artsy design books, and the Rare Book Room. I ended up picking up a few books for after I finish what I'm reading now. Shout out The Core of the Sun, Joanna, great book. We ended up finishing up our day in Portland at Mock's Boarding House, this pretty bougie board game bar and restaurant and store. When I hear the phrase board game restaurant, I picture just a bunch of college guys loading up games with 80% of the pieces and overcharging for beer. But this was not like that at all. The food was super tasty and they had several gluten-free options, which I'm always grateful for. We were there for a few hours enjoying drinks and playing Dominion, one of my favorite card games. I ended up getting chicken tendies for dinner because I can't remember the last time I was able to have them at a restaurant. A+, very yummy. I also got to share this awesome first-time experience with some of my favorite gamer friends. Perfect place for a perfect day with your gamer friends. The next day, we got ready for our little trip to Bend, where we planned on visiting Zero Latency Bend and the last Blockbuster store. Before we left, Keezus needed to eat his donut.
Cannonballs, 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 cannonballs. I'll let you do the honors.
Oh, it's melty.
Oh, it's dripping. It's gushy.
So we did that. I told you it was worth it. Absolutely worth it. Bend is one of my favorite places in Oregon. There's so much to do and the area is absolutely beautiful. This drive over was rainy but ethereally gorgeous. We dropped our stuff at our hotel before heading over to Zero Latency to try out some of their VR games. Big thank you to Terry and Zero Latency Bend for collabing with me and allowing the squad to play. We weren't sure what to expect since none of us have done VR like this before. I've never even done VR at home other than Google Cardboard, but that 100% doesn't count. The facility was super cool with lots of physical games to play between sessions. They also have a little bar so you can get drinks and some appetizers on site. There's also a little loft area where you can view people's sessions from above, and there are multiple screens around for you to watch the game with all of the views from the different players. It's pretty funny watching people walking around the facility since you can tell that they're totally immersed in the game. And it's just it's fun seeing it without like the video game too. We started with Far Cry VR, which is a game exclusively made for Zero Latency. We definitely didn't want to miss out on our chance to play it.
Okay, barely alive. I'll take it. You and your tourist friends got captured by a psycho warlord named Vas Montenegro. Now today, he's playing a sick hunting game with his pirate pals. Their prey is you. But with my help, you can escape. In the next few minutes, just keep telling yourself you're not going crazy. You're just having a really bad day, and it's about to get a lot worse.
We were captured by pirates trying to make our escape, armed with ARs and crossbows. We ended up trapped in a cave, accidentally triggering hallucinogenic spores. This was a nice little break from fleeing the pirates, though it had its own suspense. I honestly felt like there was going to be a fall scare. I kept anticipating I was going to trip. Everything felt so realistic, even down to the sound effects. The final scene was a full-on battle with the pirates. We were blasting hordes of them, doing our best not to die. Unsuccessfully, but thankfully we still get to continue. By the end of the round, we were full on sweating. It was so intense.
I can tell how much I sweat because my hair got all curly. 10 out of 10.
We had a brief break between sessions where we finished up our game of Giant Jenga from earlier.
I'm gonna get some video for a second here while we boot up. All right, so we just finished off Far Cry VR.
Great game.
Great game.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, easy. No, that had an epic story. It was
Full workout.
It was full workout, super fun.
I'll do an hour and a half workout and I won't sweat like the half hour of that. That was crazy.
I have done Apple Fitness numerous times, and I have not, I wasn't even moving that hard, and I was sweating. I was sweating in here. It's insane how much effort you have to put into this. It's crazy.
And we're about to get sweaty.
And we're about to do Outbreak Origins, VR, Zombies. Liz is ready to go. She's got her headset on. She's like, I don't even want to see your all faces anymore. I'm in. Let me stay put. See, we got battery packs off the back here. Liz is following my voice. These are HP PCs as backpacks. Can you believe this? We each get one.
Basically a little game pad. Oh, that's my boob.
You both did it though. You both did it.
That's my shoulder. Okay, we're good. Yeah, you're like down here. You're like a child.
They're both wearing their headsets, so they couldn't see, and then they both groped each other.
Our second game was another big title, Outbreak Origins, their most intense zombie game.
Rumor and speculation. Then came the reports and the evidence. Finally, the government had to admit the truth. The virus is real. What it does to people is real. It is spread across most of America.
What's the timer?
Oh, they're so fuck!
Find us.
Zombies! They're zombies! Ah!
Oh, Frank! Oh, they're running!
Oh my gosh! Oh, they're behind us!
We started off goofing, but it quickly turned to screaming while trying to fight off hordes of zombies. Check out the whole game video after the vlog. So we just finished up at Zero Latency Bend.
We did.
10 out of 10.
Insane. I'm wearing their shirt already because I was too excited. I couldn't wait.
Lot.
I threw it on in the parking lot because I was just jazzed.
Yes, I'm glad I didn't wear any makeup because I would have sweated it all off. I probably would have taken the goggles off. And
My hair, I think, is a mess right now. Is it
no,
not?
your hair actually kind of recovered. It recovered really
Oh,
well.
yeah. Hey, look at that. Knight Rider,
I'm
Kevin
puffy.
Murphy, an Australian company. So Zero Latency. Booyah.
Oh yeah, they're based in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, they have a lot of locations. I saw France. I saw.
Yeah, 26 countries. I was right. I remember.
Yeah. Oh, you're...
We completed the evening with burgers at Worthy Brewing. The vibe was super cool and the burgers were amazing. We love an awesome local business. Once we returned to the hotel, we got cozy. Is it bussin'?
Bussin'.
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 There's Reggie.
Sorry, man.
Liz has a huge collection of games and brought several options. I forget the title of what we ended up playing. I need to ask her, but it was a super fun game that was easy to pick up. We slept in a little before getting ready to head out. We grabbed brunch at Ola since I was craving enchiladas, and these definitely hit the spot. The restaurant is part of a big shopping center, so we ended up checking out the GameStop to see what rare goodies they might have. We were about to leave, but we spotted Squishmallows in the window at Claire's, so Liz and I had to take a look at them all, of course. They were buy one, get one half off, so we couldn't resist. We made our way to the last stop, the last Blockbuster store. It truly is a time capsule and feels like exactly like it did in the early 2000s. They have all of the classics and even new movies, which is kind of surprising since I thought the industry was moving away from DVDs. Even older than DVDs, they have VHS tapes. Some of you guys probably don't even know what those are. That's crazy. They've accumulated quite a bit of authentic movie memorabilia over the years, all of which is proudly on display in the back. We soaked up the vibes, played some tiny bouncy foosball, and picked up some official merch. Be kind, rewind. We also had to make some TikToks to please the internet gods, of course. Go follow me on TikTok. We did so much over such a short weekend. It was amazing having the squad together again, and it was so hard to say goodbye. We honestly just spent quite a while hugging each other in the Blockbuster parking lot, not wanting to part ways, getting stared at. Lots of hugs. But I hope I get to see Liz and Keezus again soon. Can't forget about Kenny. I get to see him more often though. I can't believe that, you know, I've met some of my best friends on the internet. That's crazy. We saw each other last year. We saw each other this year. Hopefully we'll all be on the same coast next year. We've had talks of Content House, though that's just a dream. Yeah, I love my friends. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Big shout out to the YouTube members, people who support me on Ko-fi, people who sub on Twitch, just anyone who supports me in any way. You're beautiful and I love you. Even if you just watch my content, you're beautiful and I love you. Honestly, I hope you have a good one and I'll see you next time. Bye. Numa, 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 yeah. Numa, numa, yeah. Numa, 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 yeah. Numa, numa, numa. Numa, numa, yeah. Numa, numa, yeah. Numa, 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 yeah. Ooh, 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 that's right. That's right. Oh my gosh, Squishmallow ASMR.